What's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in. My name is Lincoln Jack Domi, representing WRESTHINGS, and this is the first ever episode of WTT Dub, Wrestling Twitter this week. Now, what exactly is Wrestling Twitter this week? Well, it's exactly what it says on the tin. This is going to be the series where we're going to be delving into all the wrestling that wrestling has for us this week through Twitter. Twitter, the best place to get your opinions and the most untoxic environment in the world. So if you like what you're hearing, please, why don't you do us all a favour, WRESTHINGS, and subscribe to the channel, help us out, and also make sure you shoot punch that like button, call an audible in the comments, and make sure you pedigree the hell out of that share button like your name is Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to delve into the tweets from AEW Dynamite last night. I'm recording this on the Thursdays, so when you're getting this, it'll be 2 days after Dynamite. Cody, thank the wrestling gods. I've been waiting for this day. Let me just get into that tweet right now. If you want to get a full review of all the wrestling, or most of the wrestling, you can go subscribe to WRESTHINGS on YouTube, or you could download the podcast on SoundCloud. WRESTHINGS, Black British wrestling content creators, podcasts, blogs, interviews, and more. And Nafi and the boys will have your back. So this is a tweet from Phoenix AEW. She's one of the most positive people on Twitter in relation to AEW. She's saying it, she tweets here that Cody speaks to fans for the first time since they welcomed them back after the show goes off the air. Cody announces he no longer just has one name. Chants immediately break up into Cody Rose, as he says he is now officially Cody Rose. WWE have caved in. They're gonna go out of business. I'm just joking. I love this. I was not, apart from New Japan Pro Wrestling, when their ring announcer is top tier, when they just squeeze all the juice out of Cody's name. Apart from that, I was not really in favor of Cody Rose's nickname. Cody's name being just Cody. I mean, it doesn't have any zing to it. And then there was sometimes when it was being announced in AEW and New Japan, when we've just been announced as Brandy with it was announced as Cody with Brandy Rhodes. It's like they just wanted to make it like sound like it's just saying Cody Rose, but instead it's just saying Cody with Brandy Rhodes. Now I could just say Cody Rose. I love this. It just feels like Cody again. So apparently Cody could have already taken this name, but he just didn't want to. But now WWE caved in with the trademark. Cody is now Cody Rhodes. Thank you, Vince. This is from the Gift Skull account, and what they put out is that Tucker has his last name for NXT, Knight, on his pants. Likely he's going to be part of Retribution for a long list of reasons, which is good. Retribution needs more members. I agree with that, but I don't. He's feuding with Otis. This also brings the looming thought to what does this mean to other tag teams that are bound to break up at some point. Like, you got the Street Profits. The Street Profits are bound to break up because Montez Ford is bound for greatness. Like, he is probably one of the most athletic wrestlers today, and the charisma that he shows just puts him on a level above Angelo Dawkins, who I sincerely fear for when he eventually breaks up with Montez Ford. I just want to point out this comment from @JBoobar. These guys have some weird names here, I swear to God. It says, much like Angelo Dawkins and the Street Profits, he probably wouldn't be with the company if it weren't for heavy machinery. Tucker is well versed in jobbing from his NXT days. This is the problem. This is the crux of the problem. Otis has more chance of being a main eventer than Tucker. So when they get split apart, and then Otis is here, and then Tucker goes there, what does that say for the other tag teams? What does that say for the Street Profits? What does that say for Undisputed Era? Like, I'm more comfortable with Undisputed Era because Kylie Right is being pushed as more of a single star, but what does that say for? I'm more concerned for the Street Profits. Like, what if they get split up, but then Angelo Dawkins goes one way, and then I've actually forgotten his name. Montez Ford goes the other way. What does that say? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. So Fight for Select report the following. In an update on the Kylie Right situation, we've told there's no bad blood from the Impact side, and the company is hopeful that she'll be able to return in the future. The company has tapings from November 17th through to the 20th, and will have a lot of story-related points open-ended in case she can make those tapings, but won't pressuring her to do so. None of the roster that we spoke to had heard from her as of last Tuesday morning, prior to her message indicating that she had retired this past Monday. So as you all know, this is a pretty sketchy situation, and all of you that are watching, please just keep Kylie Right in your prayers, because she's a really positive person, and her actually taking time off of social media and then just quitting, then just retiring from wrestling overall is pretty much a cause for concern. So please just keep her in your prayers. So without further ado, I think it's time we brought an end to the first ever episode of WTT Dub right here. It's been fun. It's been enjoyable. It's only been 5 minutes. That should be enough time for you. That should be plenty of time. Not like that, you dirty c***. Before we leave though, make sure you head yourself right over to the Wrestling's YouTube channel for all your podcast related needs. Make sure you like the video with the power of positivity. Make sure you share with all your friends on social media. And also make sure you give us that little follow on social media as well. Follow us there to help us out, to help you out. It's been a hoot, but I'm out. Have a nice